Hello and welcome guys, and welcome to this video. And in this video I'm going to discuss about the elective paper which has been suggested by the new syllabus 2022 for all the CMA final students of group 4. Now this is first time in the history of the institute that institute has launched elective papers. 3 elective papers has been launched for group 4. Group 4 paper number 20. Earlier it was only one paper. Now you have an option of choosing from one of the 3 papers. So in this particular video I'm going to discuss about those 3 papers. What can you expect out of those 3 papers? What kind of topics are differentiating factors for all those 3 papers? And what are the future scopes or future prospects of those 3 papers? That is the objective for today's video. So let's start. So guys, paper number 20 earlier was one paper which was business valuation and strategic performance management. Now it has been given with 3 options. Option number 1, business valuation and strategic performance management, which is the old subject. Next option is risk management in banking and insurance. This is the option number 2. Option number 3 is entrepreneurship and startup. These are the 3 options, 3 variants with which this particular subjects comes with, and you have to choose either one of these 3 subjects. So now first of all, talking about our age old subjects which was there in 2016 syllabus, 2008 syllabus, 2012 syllabus as well, which is strategic performance management and business valuation. Primarily a practical oriented paper, and it contains subjects like how to evaluate performance of a company. So if you are given a profit and loss account or you are given a balance sheet, how do you test whether the amounts which are given or the performance which is showcased by those financial statements, whether it's up to the mark or not? What are the tools which are available to analyze financial statements of a particular company or of particular organization? That is the first objective of this particular paper, which is performance management tools. You'll be taught with some tools like comparative balance sheet analysis, income statement analysis, ratio analysis, to assist in your objective of analyzing the performance of the company and judging whether the company is going towards sickness or not, whether the company might run into sickness in a few years. That is the first and foremost objective of this particular paper. The next one is risk management tool, and this is quite interesting and quite scopeful, guys. Risk management tools means that what are the various kind of risks which are faced by a particular organization in terms of bankruptcy, in terms of insolvency. What are the indicators that will tell us that the organization is moving towards insolvency, organization is moving towards losses, and thereby runs a risk of insolvency or liquidation in the near future? That is the risk management tools which will be taught to you. Then coming on to business valuation, you'll be taught various kind of valuation models, discounted cash flow model, then comparative analysis model, and what are the various kinds of valuation models which are existing in the market, how to value a particular company, how to value the assets of a company or liabilities of the company, how to value them, because it's easy to sell or purchase a particular asset, but how to value it depending upon what cash flows do you expect or project in the future. That is the scope of this particular aspect, which is valuation of assets and liabilities. Now this, in current scenario where a lot of amalgamations happen, mergers and acquisitions are happening, then the companies are innovatively designing some structures, the corporate structures, whereby one unit is being sold to some other unit or being restructured, etc. In this particular era, valuation definitely needs a lot of emphasis, and therefore valuation of assets and liabilities is incorporated in this particular part of the paper. Then mergers and acquisition. Now this being one of the most critical part of this particular paper, guys, in today's world of high competition and companies acquiring other companies at a very fast pace, and the entire ecosystem is changing very rapidly, there it is really required to value shares or value companies which are in the process of getting merged with another company. How to ensure that a fair deal is cracked between the 2 companies who are getting merged or being acquired by one another. Now this is the kind of discussion which we can expect from this particular aspect of the paper. So primarily this particular paper will drive you towards investment banking. So if you are interested in investment banking, or if you are interested in areas like taxation with respect to mergers and acquisition, or due diligence during mergers and acquisition, what is mergers and acquisition, how to decide what is the sales consideration which is to be paid to the party, what are the shares that we need to issue to the shareholders of the acquiring company or the acquired company. Those kind of questions you will be dealing with in this particular paper. And yes, huge scope in today's market, because merger and acquisition is something which is very in today's world. That is the future of this particular paper. If you are willing to go to investment banking, strategic decision making in your company, top managerial decision, where you'll be taking decisions with respect to management hierarchy, how to analyze performance, how to analyze financial statements, etc. This is the paper for you. Option number 2, risk management in banking and insurance. Now, everyone knows that banking is the lifeblood of any economy. No economy can exist without an efficient banking channel. No economy can exist without an efficient flow of money. And that is regulated by the banks, of course, ultimately regulated by the RBI, the Bankers Bank. Now, this particular paper will focus on the risks which are attached to banking operations. Now, banking sector comes with a lot of risk. We have seen in the past few years, guys, big frauds happening, like in case of Vijay Mallya, Nirav Modi, etc. So huge banks running bankrupt because of these NPAs, non-performing assets, which have cropped up in the past. So a lot of disturbances, a lot of disruptions have happened in this particular sector, which is banking sector. Therefore, there's a dire need to analyze the risks which are associated to the banking sector, and dire need to have professionals who can take corrective actions or preventive actions towards these risks. So risk management in the banking sector is the first and foremost thing that this particular subject focuses on. What kind of risks are there? Interest rate risk, credit risk, liquidity risks. So banks, sometimes run a risk of being illiquid. They don't have sufficient money to repay their short-term debts. So that is a liquidity risk. So these kind of risks are faced by banks, and that is how there's a need for risk management in this particular area. The second aspect of this particular paper is insurance business. As we are aware that today's businessman runs a lot of risk of physical damage, or accidental damage, or any kind of political disturbance, or any kind of risk a businessman faces a lot. In this scenario, insurance becomes a backbone of any business, of any industry. It gives an assurance to the businessman, no, please, you do your work and we'll be bearing all your losses if any loss happens, or if any inadvertent event happens, we are there behind you. That is the insurance, and that is the relevance of insurance in today's world. So this particular chapter will, in its second part, focus on the risks which are related to insurance area. Okay, what are the risks which are related to insurance area? We'll in depth study the insurance intermediaries. Who are the insurance intermediaries? Who will be the people who will be assisting us in our insurance, managing our insurance and taking insurance? What kind of insurance are there? Types of insurance, etc., etc. So we'll be studying insurance in detail in this particular subject. So these are the two aspects of this subject which you can expect to study in your this subject. More of a theory subject, and this particular subject is relevant for people who are either already working in this sector, banking or insurance sector, or they are very much sure that yes, we are going to take up this particular sector in our near future. So very important subject for those students. Of course, you should take this particular subject if you are either existingly working in this particular sector, or you are sure that you need to embark upon your journey in this particular sector. Combined profiles can be, if you are very much interested in actuarial sciences, which is risk management sciences related to insurance and banking sector. That will be an added advantage if you are moving towards that particular area. If you are moving towards the profession of actuary, then this particular subject is going to help you a lot. So that's about this particular second elective paper, which is 20B, which is risk management in banking and insurance. Third, and absolutely the new thing in market, which is entrepreneurship and startups. Guys, everyone knows that in India, after the Modi government has kicked in, the spree of startups, or the benefits which are available to startups, have gone multi times ahead of what it had ever been in past. Okay, so with the boom in industry, entrepreneurial ventures in the country have scaled up. The startups have scaled up a lot. Therefore, this particular subject will more focus on your way of running a particular entrepreneurial venture, the way you can start up your business, the way you can raise funds for your business. What decision to be made in respect of capital structuring? What kind of capital structuring should you do if you are a startup? Where to procure funds from? Whether the funds should be your own funds, which is a bootstrap strategy, or should you procure from angel investors? What are angel investors? Who will invest in your business? Okay. What are the latest businesses which will come up in near future? What is fintech? Okay. What are the latest developments in the area of startups and entrepreneurial ventures? Everything is to be discussed in this particular subject, starting from entrepreneurial skill set. What kind of skill sets do you need? How to convert your ideas into actionable programs. Now that is one very important thing, guys, because we have a lot of ideas in our mind, but we don't know how to put them into action. So this particular subject is going to help you with that. Then value additions. What value additions can you make in your business? What value additions are expected out of you when you are an entrepreneur or when you are a startup owner? Risk management strategies. How to raise fund. How to scale up your business, because scaling is very important aspect of any entrepreneurial venture, guys. Once you start off your business, kick off your business, soon you realize that you need to scale up. You need to reach to masses. You need to reach to more number of clients. And how to do that? What kind of strategies can you employ to scale up your business? That is another aspect of this particular subject which you can expect. Again, a little more of a theory subject. The future which you can expect of this particular subject is that you can actually head a startup in near future. You can be a head of a new startup. You can manage a startup. You can actually start your own startup, or you can help someone else to manage their startup. Help someone else, guide them to manage their startup. So this is what you can expect in future for this particular subject. Yes, if you are very much sure that you are definitely going to start on your own, start your own business, or start your own if you're starting your own practice, say CMA practice, that's also a startup. Okay, if you're very sure about that, this paper is for you. Yes. So yes, guys, these are the 3 elective papers which in brief I discussed in this particular part with you. The study materials for these 3 papers are already out on the institute website. Please go on the institute website before taking the decision, the final decision. Please see the entire course curriculum which is prescribed by the Institute of Cost Accountants of India for all of these 3 subjects, and then take a considered view on which subject you want to take. Now the question is, sir, when do we have to make a selection of this particular aspect that we have to choose one of these 3 subjects? When do we have to do that? Guys, at the time of enrollment to final course, you will be allowed to select either one of the 3 subjects. Sir, once we have chosen one of the subjects, in the future we want to convert it or change our option. Is it possible or not? Guys, as of now, it's not possible. It's clearly written in the prospectus that this is a one-time option which is given to the students only at the time of enrollment. So no, you cannot change this option if you have filled in one of the subjects. You cannot change it in the future. So please be very, very cautious and careful while filling the choice of paper which you want to take, because it will be irreversible move. As of now, it's irreversible move. Maybe institute will kick in some process of conversion or changing of this particular option in the near future. But as of now, there's no such option which is given by the institute. It's a one-time option which will be given to you. You have to choose it wisely. So yes, that's all for this particular video, guys. All the very best and happy studying.